couple of points on the democratic recession that isn't. First of all, many of the democratic breakdowns that we've seen over the last decade have been either partially or fully reversed. Nepal's 2005 coup was reversed. His democratic erosion arguably has been reversed under Aquino. Mali's coup was reversed. Yanukovych fell in Ukraine. Electoral rule was restored in Honduras. And it looks like Sri Lanka's autocratic turn may also be reversed. So while there have been some democratic breakdowns in the last decade, what's really striking, in my view anyway, is how few of them turned out to be long-term authoritarian reversions. Second, and I will stop, I want to reiterate a point made by Philippe Schmitter in the 25th anniversary issue. And that is that we often fail to give credit for advances made in existing democracies. In the mid-2000s, Chile eliminated unelected senators and established full civilian control over the military. A huge democratic advance. Clear case of democratic progress. Not a peep from Freedom House in its annual report. Brazil and in India, two very big, very important countries in highly unequal societies, have deepened considerably over the last decade. They've become more inclusionary. They've become less elitist, more participatory. Brazil's judicial and legislative institutions have improved considerably over the last 10 or 15 years. Brazil and India are a big freaking deal, to quote the vice president, and yet these gains are often overlooked in discussions of the global state of democracy. We're too busy talking about Venezuela. So when the Journal of Democracy was launched back in 1990, Freedom House classified 38 developing and post-communist countries as fully free. Today that number stands, or at least in 2013, that number stood at 60. 25 years ago, when I was an undergrad in Larry's class, new democracies in Central Europe and in Latin America were widely viewed as precarious. Many very good scholars were very skeptical that many of those regimes would survive. Yet most of them have now survived for 25 years or more. These outcomes, to me, suggest an alternative way of viewing the last decade. As Kagan makes very clear in his piece in the 25th issue, 25th anniversary issue, global developments in the last decade pose a serious threat to new democracies. Crisis in the West, the growing power and self-confidence of China and Russia, soaring oil prices, at least until recently. Yet actual long-term democratic breakdowns is strikingly low. So it may be that the real story of the last decade is not democracy's retreat, but its surprising resilience.